how are you? I'm here. This is Croik Church in the Highlands of Scotland, and there's quite an interesting story attached to this church. So I thought I'd make a little short video sharing it with you. It looks like a very old church. It's not really all that old. It's from the 1800s. But if we go around here, now I'm not sure, but there should be some names scratched into the window. And it looks like they've protected the glass. Can I see any names scratched into the window? I can't. So what happened was all the land around here in Ross-shire, this is Ross-shire in Scotland, they used to be like the farmers used to survive via subsistence farming, which meant they had a little strip of land and they basically managed to live from that. But what happened, you can see there's like sheep dotted all over the place. Sheep farming was introduced around about in the 1800s, and by 1842 there was the laird of this land, the Gillanders I think his name was, decided that he was going to implement sheep farming, which means removing all the settlers who were here. So 18 farmers or families had to be removed. They fought it, they did quite well, and then they lost it, and he destroyed all their homes that they'd had for generations. And they came to this churchyard here, and they set up camp because they had nowhere else to go. And in the window over there, just here, oops, just in the window just over there, they scratched their sorrows as they slept here. It was quite interesting because you look at some of these graves, like this gravestone here, from 1800, so that was there for 42 years before they came and slept here. So they were sleeping amongst the graves. They didn't sleep inside the church because I guess that at the time that would have been sacrilegious. But pretty much they would have come down here. That was next to the river. The river's just over here. You just see it through the trees. And this is where they lived, and this is where they sort of survived. Or died. It's a pretty amazing church, really. Based on design by Thomas Telford, the famous bridge and engineer building type person from the 1800s, big hero. And they built this just because the community here started to get a little bit bigger. But it's quite interesting that the Highland clearances, which is what this was clearing away of the Highlands of all the crofters, because the lairds, or who are basically landlords, that's what a laird is, quite often weren't Scottish at all. It's all allocated to them by sort of the hoi polloi, would take over this land, and capitalism and all that, and community people didn't matter. Just like in the miners' strike, when digging up coal became something that wasn't needed anymore, or they could make more money doing something else, or it didn't make money. So the landlords decided to start capitalizing on this land and introduce sheep. And when you come here, you're kind of struck by the fact that this is not land farmed for crops. It is nothing but grassland and sheep everywhere. Outside of the churchyard, there's a little Pictish. It's just an amazing place, Britain, It's just, come here. It's just old stuff everywhere. So this is the remains of a Pictish camp, I believe. Now, if you want to go back in time, go back to the Picts. You can see not much is left. It's basically just rocks. But I believe all this here is some sort of Pictish homeland, which is very interesting to everybody. One interesting fact that people don't tell you about is how the Picts lived by nose picking. They would nose pick and live off whatever they found up their noses. Not many people know that. Not many people even talk about it anymore. I talk about it on this YouTube channel. Look at all these amazing old graves. Fantastic. These are all probably from the 1930s. The ones that are all covered in, is it called lichen? All this stuff here. All this stuff. When is that from? 1861. So this was here after the clearances in this area. I don't know what this fencing's for, but I guess it's not that safe. Look at the roof. But it's an amazing place. Let's have a look through the window. See what we can see. Yeah, you can see like there's a cross and there's somebody put some notes on it. Very interesting, very old. We're in October now, so everything's starting to turn orange. And Scotland looks best in autumn, I always find. When all the greens and reds and oranges and greens and reds and oranges and blacks and blues and oranges all come out. Anyway, hope you enjoyed that brief video looking at Christchurch. Did I mention it's called Christchurch? This is Christchurch here in Rossshire in Scotland. Hope you enjoyed it. Come and visit it if you're around, and Google it and get the full story. It's fascinating. The Highland clearances, super interesting. Guess what? Scottish people were impressed too.